Hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome to day one of the Delusion Masterclass. I am your host, Shani, Leatham. I'm really excited to be here with you today because we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people, they misunderstand. They don't believe in what the power of it truly is. And so because they don't believe in the power of what it truly is, they can't comprehend it. So we're going to just dive into it. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. I've got my notes ready. I have been waiting to teach you about this for a while. So again, I'm your host, Shani Leatham. I'm a transformation specialist and a wealth manifestation mentor. And again, for these next 2 days, I'm really happy to have you here so that I can discuss with you something that many people consider ridiculous. But those who actually know, they get it. It's like one of the most powerful tools and strategies that you can hold with regards to calling manifestations into your life, with regards to calling everything into your life. So we're going to be talking about that. And it's called delusion. Delusion. So today we're on the delusion method. I do want to get into some housekeeping right off the top. When I do these master classes, obviously they're always 2 days long. So today's day one and tomorrow will be day two. How it's going to go is this. Over the next 2 days, I will be on for an hour and a half with you. So from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you have registered via email, you will get the replay of these masterclasses emailed to you at the end of the day. Okay. If you happen to just come across or you clicked, you're coming to the event, the replay is available to you too, but you will be able to get it on my YouTube channel, Shani Leatham. So my name that's there, that's where you'll be able to see it. And it will live there forever because you need to have access to it. There's going to be a lot of information and you might need to watch it a couple of times. Okay. Comments are open. Absolutely. Comments are open. So wherever you're watching from, please let me know. Please let me know what your reach is. I just kind of love to know where we're connecting from. Okay. However, questions will be saved, reviewed, or I want to what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know what I want to say. I want to just hold them off until day two. There will be a question and answer period. So you can, by all means, save your questions until tomorrow, and then I will get to them as well, okay? At the end of each lesson, there will be homework. Yes, this is a lesson. This is something for you to learn. So there's going to be homework. And it's not just because I want you to have this information. It's because I want you to be able to embody the information. I want you to be able to live this knowledge. That's what it's all about. You can go to school and you can study, and that's fine. That's not what we're doing here. Everything that I teach, anytime that I teach, I will always give you an assignment so that it can be solidified within you, so that you can practice it and so that you can live it, so that you can become it. Okay, the whole point is for you to be able to collapse time and use the tools that you have that are available to you to create the life that you want. And it's about the life that you want, not the life that somebody else is designing for you, okay? So this is about lived knowledge. Now, I also do understand, and this happens all the time for a good many, okay, that some of you will not do the work. There is no judgment. There is no judgment. There is no pressure to do it. But I do know that some of you will not do the work. But for those of you who don't do the work, I want you to understand that this shows, that you're not committed to your changing just yet. Maybe you're just interested in changing, and that's fine too. But for those of you who don't do it, I want you to ask yourself why. Because there's nothing here that will harm you. It's all to help you go ahead. So when you're sitting here and listening to the story of delusion and how it could be used in your mind and in your life, I really would ask you to just sit there with an open heart and an open mind. You might feel some resistance to what I'm saying today, and that's natural. If you've been taught a certain thing a certain way for the majority of your life, which we all have been because we've been conditioned in a certain way, then to hear something different might feel like, whoa, Nelly, down, what you doing? Hold on a second, what's going on? Okay, just allow yourself to sit in the realm of possibilities and what can be done for you through this work, okay? Great. If you feel called to do it, you can go ahead and share your answers, some of your answers on the YouTube channel or where this is streaming now in the Money Mindset and Manifestation group. By all means, go ahead. We are not shy around here, and this is a safe space. It's true. I want you to feel welcomed. I want you to feel like you are a part of the family, and the fact that you're here, it just shows me that you belong here, okay? So, as with every masterclass, I want to start this off with a prayer. So whether you believe or not, that's fine. I do. If you'll indulge me, Father God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for calling all of us together so that we can learn, grow, and elevate the way you meant us to. I want you to speak through my vocal cords and think through my mind. None of me and all of you. And it is in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. All right, let's go. So over these next 2 days, I'm going to break down what you're going to learn, okay? So on day 1, which is today, you're going to learn the art of divine delusion. There is such a thing as divine delusion, okay? You're going to learn what delusion, or delulu as they call it, delulu is a salulu. Like, come on. What delusion really, really means, okay? And what it really means with regards to manifestation. You're going to learn the truth about self. Okay? The truth about self. And you're going to learn that for clarity, because that's also very important. You're going to learn how imagination can be used as your creative power. And I'll tell you this, it is one of my greatest, most useful business tools. And it can be yours too if you use it properly. And then you're going to learn what divine vision is and the importance of uncommon sense. We've heard of common sense, right? We hear common sense is not so common. In this case, that's exactly what we need. Some uncommon sense to call in what we want to call in. For tomorrow on day 2, you're going to learn the mechanics of reality creation. You're going to learn how using audacity, because we need it, and unreasonable thinking, how to use it. You're going to learn about focused delusion. It's not just about being all over the place. There's a point to it. Focused delusion. You're going to learn a lesson from the law of assumption and living from the end, as per Neville Goddard. You're going to learn how to merge delusion and manifestation together so you can use this beautiful tool that we have to create a beautiful life that you want. I'm going to talk about my programs and what's offered through the Breakthrough Academy, which is my company. And we'll have the Q&A session. Housekeeping done? Housekeeping done. Let's go. So let's begin. All right, friends? So what I'm about to teach you is not positive thinking. It's beautiful. It's great. I'm reading a book called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. But we're not talking about that. It's not about positive thinking. We're talking about, and we're not talking about manifestation tips. Let me say that, okay? You can go ahead and review any of my posts. You can see manifestation tips all the time. This is not that. And it's not about being mindful. It's not the mindful fluff that often is bombarded on us, okay? This is about identity engineering, okay? This is about reality design. This is about inner world restructuring. This is big stuff. This is heavy, heavy stuff. And it's about learning to assume a level of power that most people never claim. And I know that you're here because you believe that you're built for something more. And you know it. Okay? You're here to create a life that looks impossible on paper. That's where the delusion comes from, right? Where it comes in. Life looks impossible on paper, this type of life. But it's possible. That's why I ask you to sit in the realm of possibilities. Just sit here and say, what if this all works out for me? Whatever it is that your desire is, okay? So today we're going to be diving deeper into something that most people fear. And yet it's the very, very energy that creates worlds. It's the very energy that creates worlds. It's the idea of looking and feeling and being judged as crazy, as being judged as, what the hell are they talking about? Or their head is all up in the clouds. You're so delusional. as if it's a bad thing. It's used as a bad thing, but it's not. We've been taught to be realistic. We've been taught to be practical. We've been taught to be logical. We've been taught to play it safe. We've been taught to keep our feet on the ground, get your head out of the clouds and keep your feet on the ground. But the truth is, every extraordinary life, every world-changing idea, every breakthrough in science and art and human design, okay, and human potential, it all began with somebody who thought that they were, or somebody who was delusional enough to believe it could happen. That's what it began with, okay? And so that's what we're talking about today. I'm so excited about this. This is exactly what we're talking about today. The power of delusion, okay? And it's really, really powerful if you know how to use it well. But it's not delusion as in denial, as in what most people believe delusion is. It's not that. There's enough of that going on in this world, but that's not what this is. This is delusion as in divine design, divine vision, okay? It's the kind of uncommon sense that sees what others can't see yet. So visionary, you're going to use the delusion to create what it is that you want to create, okay? So let's start by redefining what delusion actually is, what it actually means here, okay? Society says delusion is believing something that's not real. As if that's a bad thing, you know? But I want you to consider this just for one moment. What if the only difference between delusion and genius was evidence? What if that was the only difference? Because before there was electricity, think about this. Before there was electricity, the idea of lighting an entire city was considered delusional. And doing it with invisible energy at that was, somebody would say that's delusional. Or before airplanes, the thought of humans soaring through the sky, that was delusional, right? And before smartphones, the notion that we could hold the entire world's information in the palm of our hand, that was called delusional. But there's evidence of electricity now through light bulbs and all of that. There's evidence of flying on planes. There's evidence of smartphones. You're watching this on a smartphone right now. There's evidence of it. But it had to begin in somebody's mind. It had to begin with somebody believing it could be done before it was proven. So what if the difference between delusion and genius was just evidence? The evidence comes after the belief, my friends. It does. Okay? And that's what I like to call divine vision. It's not just your own vision. It's divine vision. It's the ability to see through the eyes of your higher self rather than through your limitations. We have limitations. We all do. We're human. But those limitations are created. Every limitation that we're going through is created. They're self-imposed. But if we use divine vision, we can bypass those limitations and create amazing, beautiful, beautiful things, okay? So divine vision is uncommon sense. There's nothing common about it. It's not logical, not by any means, and it's very, very intuitive. Does that make sense? It's not rooted in the visible. It's not rooted in what you can see. It's actually rooted in possibilities and what's actually possible. So uncommon sense says, I know what reality looks like, but I also know that I can create something different. I can create a new reality, and that's using uncommon sense. And that's the difference between the masses. So all the people who just follow life, and then the few people who actually design it. I truly believe that the people who are watching this today are the ones who will design their life. They may have been following it for a while, but you now know that you can create your life just through a little bit of delusion. A little bit of delusion, okay? And that's one of the things that I teach you, how to design the life that you want. And I do that through my signature program called Unlimited. It's the Millionaire Mastery Program. We'll talk about that tomorrow, okay? So there is this creative force. And we'll talk about that today. This is your imagination. It is a very, very, very creative force. And I want you to get this straight. That your imagination, as much as people will tell you, it's not childish. They say, oh, only kids use imagination because they're thinking up images in the clouds. The cloud looks like a dog and it looks like a starfish and it looks like a this. Or I imagine that I'll be a cowboy. I wanted to be a singing cowboy when I was a child. I used my imagination and I created that in my life. But your imagination is not childish. It is, oh my gosh, it is divine technology. It is divine technology. We've had it all wrong all this time. It is divine technology. It's literally the original quantum field. The original, where all things are created. Everything is created there. It's another dimension. They call it the fourth dimension, okay? It's the place where we co-create with God. So you have these ideas that come to you that you've never thought of. You've got this beautiful idea and you're like, whoa, this is wild. I think I should act on it. And it didn't come from you. That's the place where you co-create with God. It was an idea that was downloaded into your imagination, okay? Into your mind's eye, and you act from that. Many people will not act from that. They'll say, oh, that's a good idea. And then they go back to their human limitations and say, well, I can't do it. I can't afford it. I can't make it happen. I'm too old. I'm unqualified. What will people say? You see what I'm saying? But the idea was created there. It's where we co-create with God, okay? On earth, the place where all things are first created is in the imagination, okay? And everything, you have to know this by now, or maybe you didn't know, and that's fine. But everything in this world was created twice. First in the mind, and then in reality. So if we take Steve Jobs, for example, I mean, everybody knows who Steve Jobs was, right? But if you didn't, he was the creator of Apple with another gentleman, I can't remember his name right now. Was it Woz? Yes, Wozniacki, I think. And so with Steve Jobs, when he envisioned the iPhone, everybody laughed. They were like, fool, please. Say what now? You want to do what? Right? And his quote was, what he said was, we're going to create a device that holds the entire internet, that holds a phone and music, a music player all in one. Now, I want you to consider, of course, for the time, that was something that hadn't happened before. And so people couldn't see it. And because they couldn't see it for themselves, they couldn't see it in reality. I want you to recognize that in your own life, where something is happening for you and you decide you want to create something, do something, go somewhere, be someone. And the people that you love the most, they don't support it, or they say that's not going to work. It doesn't mean it won't work. It means they're looking through their limited vision. They're looking through their own eyes. They cannot see it for you because they cannot see it for themselves. Therefore, they don't know how to support you. I don't want you to take that personally. It's got nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. You stay within your divine vision, okay? Now, with Steve Jobs, of course he held the vision. Of course he held the vision. He saw it. He believed it. And he demanded it into reality. He demanded it into reality. He demanded it into existence. Okay? And today, now, think about it. Billions of people, you yourself included, carry that delusion in your pocket. You're watching from that delusion right now. Okay? And that's the power of imagination. That's the power of delusion. It's not fantasy. It's literally the first stage of creation. Okay? The first stage of creation. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and how I used delusion to go from being in foreclosure to over $1 million in less than a year. Okay? I did not have any evidence that there would be all of this extra money coming in and catapult me from almost losing my home to creating a life that's beyond my wildest dreams. And since I've brought in that over $1 million, it's never stopped. The floodgates have opened. I have become someone different. I live differently because I see differently because I use my imagination. And so when I was going through that process, I had studied with an amazing person. His name was Bob Proctor. He passed away. And I learned from him that you needed to see something in your mind and believe that it was true before it happened. So he'd say, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And again, I was going through foreclosure. I was going to lose my home. This was years ago. I decided that all I'm going to see is a person who has millions and a person who lives free and clear in their home. Free and clear means no mortgage to pay and no exorbitant household costs. That's what I wanted for myself. But I also wanted to be a business owner because I'd owned businesses before. I just didn't want to do what I was doing. I wanted to do something different. And what I was learning from him, I realized I want to teach that, but better. And I want to teach it in a way that people will really gravitate towards it and it will resonate with them. Within 9 months of holding that vision, not realizing that it was called divine vision yet, and that it was really delusion, right? That I believed my own story in my own mind. And I was waking up every day living as the person who had millions, living as the person who was running a successful business, living as the person who lived free of a mortgage. And then all of a sudden, money started coming in because I started acting, believing, thinking differently. Money started coming in. I first received $100,000 from stocks that, just about $100,000 from stocks that I had amassed when I worked at a company over 20 years ago. When you worked with them, you could buy shares into the company and they would match whatever you bought. So if you're going to give me free shares, I'm going to buy up a whole bunch of shares. Did I know anything about investing at the time? No. When the letter came in, 2 letters came in and said that it equaled about $50,000. No. Yeah, about $100,000 each altogether. I was like, put that money on that. Run me my check. I need to pay off this mortgage. So now I'm free and clear in my home. Okay. I had borrowed $8,000 for this course. Bless you. $8,000 US for this course, which was like $1 million Canadian, by the way. I paid that back off. Okay. I started the business. This all happened within a short amount of time. And then months later, I got, my business took off. It was like $100,000 here and then another $100,000 here. And then I decided finally, you know what? I think it's time to sell my home, right? So I don't owe the bank anything anymore. All the money came straight to me. So that's another $600,000 here and then so on and so on and so on. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And within less than a year, I had envisioned my way into over $1 million. Okay? Over $1 million. Now, most people would say, well, you're crazy. That's wild. That's delusional. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Okay? That was the power of imagination, of my imagination. I created a whole new life. I created a career that helps others manifest the desires of their heart. Okay? That helps them live from abundance. Okay? Transforms their lives. Through my imagination, I created that. Through my imagination, okay? I created for myself an overflow of income. It doesn't stop. I recognize that I'm abundant. Money is abundant. It's always there. It's everywhere. I see it in everything. And so I always attract it to me. I allow it into me. I've attracted inner peace and a sense of freedom. Do you know how good that feels to be free? To feel free? To feel free? There's nothing like it. And I know that this is something that can never be taken from me. Not ever. And it's all because I dared to be delusional. I dared to live from my imagination. Okay? So again, imagination is that first stage of creation. You can create anything that you want. Absolutely anything that you want. And now science proves this, which is beautiful. Okay? Science proves this. When you imagine, something vividly enough, clearly enough, your brain fires off like the same neutrons, the same neurons as if it's actually happening in real life. So your body doesn't know, and your subconscious doesn't know if it's real or fake. It just accepts it. Your subconscious mind will never reject anything. It always accepts whatever you give it. So again, when you imagine something clearly enough, so clearly and so vividly, it fires the same neurons in your brain that as if it were happening in real time. So you're literally rehearsing your future, or your manifested life, as I like to call it. You're literally rehearsing it. And keep watching it, keep viewing it, keep envisioning it. You're creating a future memory. That's so cool. And so that means that if you can imagine it and you can feel it, and if you embody it, that was the thing that I didn't learn from when I was taking the course, but I just did, which is why I brought in that wealth to myself and this business. I embodied it, which is I internalized it, I became it. If you do all of those things, then your mind and your body, they begin to align with what you want. And you cannot help but get what you want in this world, okay? So when you set yourself, or when you see yourself wealthy, and you see yourself loved, and you see yourself healthy, and you see yourself radiant, when you see yourself in all of those ways, you are now informing the field of what you want it to create next, okay? That's exactly what you're doing. Now, let's talk about the self. The self. I want to talk about the truth about yourself. Okay? How are we doing? I think I'm going pretty quickly. The truth about the self is this. And this might surprise you a little bit. The real delusion is believing you're ordinary. That is the real delusion. Believing that you are ordinary. There is nothing ordinary about you, my friend. You were created to move mountains. You were created to have dominion over this earth. You live on a floating rock in the universe. There's nothing ordinary about you. Not one thing. If you are living an ordinary life, it's because you chose to live an ordinary life. But with that, that also means that you can create, change, live however, whatever you want. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Okay? So the real delusion is you believing that you're ordinary. Let's get rid of that right now. Okay? It's thinking that you're small. There's nothing small about you. Maybe your ankles, maybe your eyelashes. There's nothing small about you as a person. You have such massive, imposing, enveloping energy. People want to be around you, or they don't want to be around you because your energy is so big. Either way, there's nothing small about you. I want you to stop thinking small. I want you to let go of that right now. The delusion is thinking that you're powerless, that you cannot make things happen. Who told you that? Who told you that? Or what circumstance in life made you believe that you were powerless? And powerless for so long. Why did you then stay there? See, the thing is, our brains are neuroplastic. That means that we can change things like the weather, okay? We are not finite. Things are not just as they are. When people say it is what it isn't what it is. We can create new things, those new neural pathways. Every day we learn something new. We create new brain cells and a new neural pathway. There's so much power in that. You are beyond powerless. You are so powerful. You are so powerful that studies have shown that you can actually use your own internal energy to turn on a light bulb. Come on. Come on. Come on. You are powerful beyond your wildest dreams. And all of your power comes in your mind, in your imagination, through those delusions. You have all the power within you. So if you have been conditioned to believe that you're small, that you only deserve a piece of the pie. You know, get a seat at the table. Come with your own damn table because you're that powerful. Forget about a piece of the pie and forget about the crumbs. Get your own damn pie because that's what you deserve. That's what you need to demand. That's what you need to create in your life for you. And be the big, imposing, loving, abundant, powerful creature you were created to be. You were created to have it all. We have dominion over everything on this earth. Everything on this earth. And you think you're powerless? You think your words don't have power? Your words are so powerful that it's got you living the way that you live right now. So, do you love the way you live? Or would you like to experience something different? It's all up to you. You create that in your mind's eye, with your divine vision, in your imagination. You are a creator. I told you. This is what you do, okay? You might even be thinking that you're not worthy. That's delusional. You were born worthy. You were meant to be here. You have so much value. Oh, honey, you have so much value. If no one's told you that before, I'm telling you right now. I want you to look into my eyes. You are worthy. You are valuable. In fact, you are invaluable. You have so much valuable that there's no amount that they can't measure how valuable you are. We need a new word for valuable, just to describe how valuable you are. Okay? It's delusional to believe that you're any of those things, when the truth is, you are not your past. Okay? You are not your past. But even still, you are not your current circumstance. This is just a circumstance. This is just a blip, a page in your book, a drop in the water, a star in the sky. It's just a little passing moment. It will not stay the same unless you choose to stay the same. And that can be changed with a little bit of imagination, honey. You can create whatever it is that you want. The thing is, and I realize this as we've gotten older, because we were told when we were younger, get your head out of the clouds, focus, pay attention. Yeah? Do what's realistic. That's unreasonable. That's not realistic. Hell, we have SMART goals, right? And one of the letters in the acronym is realistic. So you can measure your whatever the outcome is, okay? We've been conditioned to look for realism, to not be the extraordinary beings that we were created to be. And so I want you to understand that this is not your fault. It's how we were conditioned from birth, through our parents, through our teachers, through our loved ones, through media, through social media, through friends. It's just how it has been going forward, going through life. But just as that's how it's been, remember, your brain is neuroplastic. You can change it all. Just as your taste buds change every 7 years, you can change yourself. You can change the way you think. You can change what you imagine. You can choose to imagine whatever it is that you want in this life. Whatever it is that you want in this life. It is all up to you. Okay? So again, the delusion is thinking small, thinking that you're small. The delusion is thinking that you're not worthy. The delusion is thinking that you're powerless. You can create everything, anything. Tell the mountain to move and believe it, and it will move. You are a dragon slayer. You haven't even scratched the surface as to what you can do yet. You are so powerful. You are so powerful that nobody, and we only use about 10% of our brains, nobody could come up with they cannot measure what we can do with our brains, with our imagination, because no one's ever used the entirety of their brain. No one. So if with 10% of our brain power and whatever percentage of our imagination, we are creating worlds, we are creating businesses, we are creating families, we are birthing miracles, we are creating vehicles and smartphones and getting people to fly. We are creating travel to outer space. We are creating healthy bodies. We are creating meals. Because somebody had to put something together with the seasoning to come up with the idea to make this meal. Or to put these ingredients together and say, this could make a cake. If we're only using 10% of our brain and a little bit of our imagination, just imagine what would happen if we used more. You are beyond powerful. You are beyond powerful. This is not even something that I wanted to talk about really today, but it just hit me. And I know this message is for somebody who's feeling like they don't have worth here today. You are so beyond powerful and valuable and necessary and worthy. And there are people waiting to see what you do next, because your success and their success are intertwined. Who will win if you don't lose? Because you thought yourself powerful enough to create whatever it is that you want to create. Okay? Now, I say this oftentimes. When you want to create something in your world and we're using our imagination, which is, again, where we co-create with God, and I'm going to go back into the lesson. The first thing you have to do is decide what it is you want to create. So the first question you would ask yourself is this: if anything and everything was possible, what would I love? If anything and everything was possible, what would I love? So what would I love to have? What would I love to be? Who would I love to be? Where would I love to go? What would I love to do? What would I love to experience? If anything and everything were possible, what would I love? And when you're considering what you would love, you're going to write this all down, okay? You're going to write it down on a piece of paper, and you're going to make a laundry list, a grocery shopping list of all the things that you want, all the things that you want to experience, maybe something that you want to create. You have all the resources. Money is not an object. Time is not an object. Relationships are not an object. Your job is not an object. You can do whatever you want at any time with anything with all the resources. What would you love for it to be? Then you create the vision of how it would look, and then how it would feel to be a part of that world, to step into that reality, because reality is already created. The moment you decide what you would love, and then you start to envision it, it's like you're tearing a ripple in reality and creating an alternate reality right here. And all you have to do is bend that reality so that this becomes your current. I teach you how to do that in my signature program, Unlimited. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay? So if anything and everything was possible, what would I love? Okay? You are not your past. You are not your current circumstances. You are not even your limitations. The how can I do this? The moment, how can I do it? How long will it take? How much does it cost? How? Those are limitations. It's as if you're giving yourself permission to not do the thing by looking for the obstacle. We do this all the time. It's because our brains are designed to seek safety. Our brains are designed to not seek success, to not seek wealth, to not seek elevation and growth and opportunity. Our brains are designed to seek comfort and familiarity and that safety. Our brains are designed to survive, for us to survive. And because we're surviving and we're seeking all of those things that we already know, even if it's uncomfortable, living comfortably in our discomfort, we're still going to do that. We're still going to go back, and then we're going to create those limitations and seek out the answers that disqualifies us from going after what we want. There are so many people who will say to me, Shani, I want to be a part of your programs. I can't afford it. Well, it doesn't matter that you can't afford it until you decide that you want to be in it, right? And when you decide that you want to be in it, then you're going to start looking for ways to make it happen. Just like with anything. If you want to run a marathon, you don't just get up and run the marathon. I mean, you could try, but your legs will give out. Your legs will give way, and your heart might burst out of your chest with your lungs, and you might not even have the right shoes. But once you decide, then you're going to put yourself in a place to prepare for it. You're going to prepare for it. You're going to eat the right way. You're going to get the right sleep. You're going to practice all the time. You're going to envision. You're going to be like the athletes in the Olympics who visualize themselves in the race. Because again, your mind cannot tell the difference between what's a lived experience and what's true, what's imagined. So you're going to do all of those things. And then you're going to find yourself with the deposit. Well, look, I got the deposit now for your programs. Great. You don't have to worry about next month until next month is coming. You'll figure it out. It's just like with university. We send our children to university. Hell, we've gone to university and college. And when we go, we are not paying the full 4 years tuition in one shot. No. We do a portion at a time. Nobody says I can't, well, a lot of people do, but most people don't say I can't afford it. You know what they do? They go and get a loan. They get bursaries. They apply for scholarships because those things are available. Those things are available too for my programs. Those things are available too for you to learn how to run the marathon. You look for what you need so that you can get what you want. We create limitations. We create abundance is everywhere. You don't have to have money to be abundant. It's already there. You have to allow it in. It's the limitations that says I can't have the thing. It's a limitation that says I can't be a part of the programming. It's a limitation that says I can't eat healthy. It's a limitation that says I'm not qualified for this job. Well, do you know how many people get jobs and then learn on the fly? There's a lot of mediocrity out there. And there are a lot of successful, mediocre people living extraordinary lives. It's called extraordinary because it's extraordinary, but so many people choose to just live the ordinary. You're giving yourself permission to be held back by your limitations, to be affected by the obstacles. We need to stop that right this instant. The moment I stopped doing that, the moment that everything changed for me. Because I allowed myself, I dared myself to dream, and not just dream as a wish. I dreamt, and then I created the identity that went along with it. And then I created the beliefs that came along with it. And then I created the feelings that came along with it. And then I started taking the actions that came along with it. And then I started living as the person who had it, even though there was no evidence. But I was delusional enough. I used my imagination. I created in my mind. And as they say, Bob's your uncle. Okay? You are consciousness, my friend. Are pure consciousness. Pure creative power. So we're not going to be thinking we're powerless anymore after here. After right now. We're not thinking that anymore. You are true, pure creative power. It's so awesome. But you're just having a human experience. So what do you want this experience to be like? What do you want it to be? We have limited time. You can choose to live beyond what your mind can conceptualize. Or you can just live like everybody else. Either way, it is literally your choice, okay? The truth is, your self-image determines your world. So how you see yourself determines the results that you get back from this world. Look at your bank account. Do you love where it is right now? Are you in abundance? Are you in overflow? Have you received overflow yet? So it's always, 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 always coming in. And not just coming in more than you need. Are you in overflow yet? Okay? I want everybody to be in overflow. It's a beautiful place. The motto in my household is do well so you can do good. Do monetarily well so that you can do even more good in this world. Can you do good without having a lot of money? Absolutely. Do you have access to more resources and connections and time and freedom and opportunity to help even more people when you are financially free, whatever that looks like to you? Absolutely. So do well so you can do good. Okay? Do well so that you can do good. Your self-image determines your world. So how you see yourself determines your results. It's like a person who's a salesperson, a salesman, saleswoman. They can see themselves as someone who just earns $100,000 a year. Okay? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You make $100,000 a year. Okay? Or $100,000. That's your profit. So whatever the amount of sales is. Pretty good. But then, let's say they have a really great year and they get to $170,000, okay, of pure profit. Amazing. The following year, they are going to do what happens. They're going to sabotage themselves to bring them down to their thermostat of what they're comfortable with, what their nervous system accepts to be good for them, okay? What their capacity can hold, which is, I'm a $100,000 earner. And that's it. You're going to sabotage yourself. Alternately, if you're a person who has trouble with their physical appearance, so your body, your health, your weight, and all of that stuff, and it's not because of medical conditions. If you're a person who yo-yo diets, you lose weight, you gain weight, you lose weight, you gain weight. I'm talking about myself. This was me once upon a time. I always saw myself as a person who would always have to work really hard to stay in the shape that I wanted to be in. And so I always made it hard. And it didn't have to be. I was like, I need lotions and potions, and starvation was a great method. You know, I started taking diet pills in high school because I believed that I was supposed to look like the skinny little girls who were next to me, not recognizing that our body types are completely different. And I was going to grow to be almost 6 feet tall. So I couldn't walk around looking like a matchstick, like a candle, okay? Like a bobblehead. And I was bobbleheading for a while. And that became my identity. And so my results, I did all the things that were unsafe for me, unkind to my body, to prove that I loved myself. But there was no self-love in that. It was the identity that I created. And so I had the results all the time. I was up, I was down, I was up, I was down. Until I decided, you know what? I am health. And now that I am health, forget about I want to be a certain weight, a certain size. I am health. And what does health look like? And what does health feel like to me? Oh, it feels like putting nourishing foods in my body. It feels like eating real foods instead of just processed foods. Do I still eat Twizzlers? Hell yeah. I love them. Forever and ever, amen. Am I still having my wine? Hell yeah. I love it. Forever and ever, amen. But there's going to be a time where my body's not going to accept certain things because I am health. And this is not treating myself in a way that's considered healthy. And I love myself enough to do what I need to do. Just like I love myself enough to make sure that I never broke another day in my life. I've lived that life. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good to me. It causes me stress. It caused me to gain 40 pounds. It caused me a wrinkle. We got genetics on our side, so there's that. So your image determines your world. I see myself as something completely and someone completely different. If someone were to come to me when I was a child and look at me, or even from high school, university, till now, and see the difference, they would not believe that I am now today who I am based on who I was. Unrecognizable. I look the same, but unrecognizable internally, okay? So when you understand that your image determines your world, then you stop asking, can I? You stop asking for permission, and you start saying, I am. That's what you do. And every time you say, I am, it's like you're casting a spell. I don't like that language, but I don't know how else to express it. It's like Wingardium Leviosa. I'm a Harry Potter girl, okay? It's like you're casting a spell. You're speaking God's language. God said he was the great I am. He was I am. And so we're adopting that. And for him, what he says comes to pass. So if I'm going to use I am, you better believe that what I say is going to come to pass, because I'm now using God's language. I've elevated myself. I've elevated my energy. I've elevated my vibration. I'm vibrating here. My identity says that I'm here. I'm not going to be speaking lower of myself ever again. A lot of you do that. You say, oh, I have a small business. What's small about your business? There's nothing small about your business. Has it grown to where you want it to be yet? Probably not. Maybe not. Maybe you're meant to stay here, but there's nothing small about it. Your language matters. Okay? Someone says, oh, I'm just me. I'm just a girl. I'm just a boy. This is just doing that. When you put just in front of anything, you are minimizing the power, the impact of what it is. Watch your language. I am is so powerful. Okay? It's so, so powerful. And it's you, when you say I am, it's you instructing. How do I want to say this? It's you instructing the universe who to be for you. Okay? So when you say, I am successful, it's good. When you say, I am magnetic, when you say, I am abundant, okay? It's a powerful thing that's happening. And then the moment you believe, so we say, but now the moment that you believe, I am powerful. I am powerful. I am limitless. There's no limit. Remember they say the sky's the limit? Forget that. There's no limit. I am limitless. I am the creator. The moment you say that, okay? The moment you say that, you are activating your higher identity. You are activating the version of yourself who already has it, who already has what you want. So if anything and everything was possible, that's what you want. And then we apply the I am to the identity. You now are the person. You are living your life. You're creating the person, the identity of the person who already has it, the manifested version of you. And that's the kind of delusion that births miracles. That's what that does. Okay? That's what that's what divine vision does. It calls forward to you. So it calls forth to you the you that already exists in the unseen. You can't see it, but you already exist. Just like no one can see your imagination, but you know it exists. Just like no one can see the wind, but you know it exists. Just like no one can see the oxygen and the energy, but you know it exists. Okay? The divine vision, it calls forth the you that no one can see, that is in the unseen. Okay? And that's the you that you created in your mind. That's the you were meant to be. That's the you that you were born as, that you are remembering now. It always takes me back to one scene in the movie Black Panther where Angela Bassett's character, the queen, is like, show them who you are. And I think, remember who you are and show up as them and only them. That's it. That's your responsibility. You show up as who you were meant to be, your life will drastically change. You will not accept the things that you've accepted before. You will not accept meager pay. Or if you, let's say you make 6 figures, you will double and triple that. You will start eating differently, speaking differently, showing up differently, accepting things differently, tolerating certain things. You will no longer tolerate disrespect because you are who you remembered you were to be. You are showing up as who you meant to be. Can you imagine someone sitting there and playing in your face and you accepting it as the version of you who was created by him, and you stepping into that version? Don't go ahead and play in their face, in my face, in your face. You would never accept that to be true. You would never accept that. You wouldn't accept it for your friends. You wouldn't accept it for your children or your family or your loved ones. So you're not going to accept it for you. Okay? You're not going to accept it for you. This is the kind of delusion that births miracles. Miracles. And you were meant to be a miracle maker. Okay? So I actually want to do a quick exercise. I want to experience this right now. Okay? But before we do that, let's do an energy check. I want to do an energy check. How are we feeling in this moment? Are we feeling 1 where we're really low, or closer to 10 where things are feeling good? You're starting to see that delusion can be used in a beautiful way to create the life, and you're excited about it. What are we feeling in this moment? Go ahead and let me know. Couple ones, lies. 6, 7. Okay. I want you to check your temperature, your energetic temperature. This is your thermostat. Because I'll tell you this. For some people, again, this is going to feel foreign, and you might repel it a little bit, and that's okay. But for others who are open to the realm of possibilities, that's where I live. I live in the realm of possibilities and in the realm of opulence, because I only expect opulent things and things to work out for me. Your vibration feels high. Your energetic state is high. There are no words or numbers that could probably explain just how high it feels, because you get to create the life that you want. It's unmatched. This feeling is unmatched. And I love that for you. I really, really, really love that for you. Okay, so like I said, we are going to experience this right now. I'm going to do a delusion activation, so to speak. Okay, this is a quick activity. I just want you to listen and do what I tell you. Do what I tell you. This is to help you. Okay? It's to help you. So I want you right now, just close your eyes for a moment. I can see you. Close them. Close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to imagine the version of you who's living your dream life. Whatever it looks like, whatever it feels like, you're living your dream life. Okay? Picture it. Give you a few seconds to envision it. Your eyes are closed and you're picturing the version of you who's living your dream life. See them. See them. Confident, radiant, free, the healthiest you've ever been. Feel it, see them. Okay? They've already made it. They've done all that needs to be done and are living the way you want to live yourself. They did it. Keep your eyes closed. They did it. Now this is the tricky part. Go with me here. You see them. I want you to now step into their body. Close your eyes. It's weird, I know, but step into their body. See yourself stepping into their body. Yeah? Now, look around through their eyes. Through their eyes. What are you seeing through their eyes? Tilt your head from left to right. Look up, look down. Turn around. What's behind you? I want you to see and look through their eyes. Now go ahead and feel how they walk into a room. Feel what they're exuding. Feel their posture. Are they crouched over? No, they're not. They're sitting or standing up straight. They're walking in like God sent them themselves. In fact, you're walking in that way because you have it all. Whatever all is to you, you have it all. You've made it. Okay? I want you to feel how they walk into a room. Now, feel how they speak. Say something in your mind. How do they speak? Do they speak confidently? Do they speak and hold and command the room? Do they speak boldly? I want you to picture that. How do they think? Feel it. How do they think? Are they thinking expansive thoughts? Are they thinking, oh, I can't do this? No, because you already did it. You already made it. Are they thinking of, ooh, what's next? What do I get to do next? How do I get to take what I know and what I've experienced and help other people? What are they thinking? How are they thinking? And I want you to feel how they expect their life to go. It's not how they want their life to go, but how they expect their life to go. Because I'm pretty certain they always are in joyful expectation. One of the tenets of manifestation. Now I want you to know this. This is your delusional self. This is your manifested self. Okay? This is the higher version of you. The higher you who refuses to settle for logic out the window. Refuses to settle for logic. This is the one who lives by faith. Yeah. This is the version of you who knows that imagination is creation. Okay? Now I want you to open your eyes. If you kept your eyes open this whole time, well, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. But if you followed along with this exercise, good. Good. Your eyes are open now. That version of you is not someday. Okay? That version of you is right now, available to you right now. You've seen it. You stepped into them. It's now. We can end this call right now, this live right now. And you can just walk away as them and live the rest of your day today as them. And it would be so powerful because you are now embodying the version of you, your manifested version. Okay? So that version isn't someday. It's now. I want you to start living from it. Not tomorrow, not when we get off this call, not next week. I want you to start living it, living from this identity, not when it's convenient. When you go back to work, I don't know if you're on a break, but when you go back to work, when you go home, when the kids are on your last nerve, when the person in the office keeps asking you for the same thing over and over again, I still want you to live from that place. It's a person who has it all, because you will react differently and you will respond differently. And that's going to be tantamount to your success. I want you to do that right now. Okay? Even if no one else believes it, this new self that you've got going on, okay? I want you to say that to yourself. Even if no one else believes it, I do. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Because your next level begins with that level of delusion. It really does. Remember, all the things that you've got going on in your life, the comforts that you experience, they were someone's delusion before they became something in your life. So when you hear the term, oh, that's delusional, they're being delusional, be like, yeah, hell yeah, that's good. Because it's not delusion as in denial. It's delusion as in divine vision. And we all have access to divine vision. Okay? Any comments that I need to take a look at? Let's see. Okay. I want you to remember that there is an assignment to do. Okay? There is homework. This is so that you can live this today. It's not a lot of work. There are some reflection prompts, and then there is a question that asks you to envision something, okay? It asks you to envision something. It's to help you. It's to help you grow. It's to help you take this information and live this information. So I guess for those who don't yet have access to the group, because it's posted in the Money, Mindset, and Manifestation, I will read some of these questions to you, some of the prompts to you, and then when this is posted on the the YouTube, I'll see if I can get that shared there as well, okay? So it's your Delusion Method. It has the event homework. Please go ahead and commit to yourself, okay? So the reflection questions, there are 5. The first one is, where in my life have I been too realistic? And what has that cost me? So where in my life have I been too realistic? And what has that cost me? Okay. Number 2, what dream of mine felt or once felt delusional, but later became possible or real? So what dream of mine or what fantasy felt delusional at one point, but it became possible or real? That's really cool, because showing that you're a master manifester. You're creating already, okay? Number 3, what vision currently calls to me that part of me still thinks is impossible? So what vision that I have in my head, it's calling to me, but a part of me still thinks it's not possible. It's impossible. Okay? There's something that you think is impossible. Maybe you wanted to start a business. Maybe you wanted to ask them out. Maybe you wanted to be married by a certain time next year or have a new venue. Maybe you want to go on a luxury vacation and you're not sure how it can work. Maybe you want to be a millionaire. Maybe you want to enroll in Unlimited, my program. Whatever it is. What do you feel? What vision do you have that you're calling to you that you still feel is kind of impossible right now? I want you to call it out. The moment you call it out is the moment you realize that it is possible. And you're going to start considering ways to make it a possibility. Nothing is finite. Okay? Number 4, if I had divine vision and could see through limitation, okay, what would I know for sure? If I had divine vision and could see through limitation, what would I know for sure? That's a great question. Great question. And number 5 of the reflection prompts, what's one area of life that I'm ready to start living delusionally on purpose? So what's one area of life that I'm ready to live delusionally on purpose? I want to start living this way delusionally on purpose. You're choosing to be delusional here. What's one area of your life that you want to be delusionally on purpose? Those are your reflection prompts. And then the final question, it's a little exercise for you. It's called My Divine Vision. You're going to write a full page, okay? And it's going to begin with, if I stopped being realistic and trusted my divine vision, I would. Okay? So if I stopped being realistic and trusted my divine vision, I would. I would what? Okay, you're going to fill that in. I want you to let your imagination go wild. Just spiral out of control. No control here. None at all. If anything were possible, anything and everything was possible, what would I love? You're using your divine vision. I would do what? There's no filters. There's no logic in this. Okay? You're not allowed to be sensible and reasonable. I want you to off the charts. Okay? I only want you to be sovereign here. That means you're using your ultimate power. Okay? Your ultimate power. That's what we're going to do. So those are your questions. It will be shared in the group in about 4 minutes. Yes, in about 4 minutes. I'm very excited for you. So once again, the replay, if you have signed up and registered through the email, you will receive the replay of this live today, this afternoon of this masterclass. Otherwise, you can find it under Shani Leatham, my name right there, on YouTube. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. I think I'm almost at 30. I just now started to focus more on YouTube. Because why not? I'm going to grow this YouTube channel so that all of my teachings, all of my learnings, all of my masterclasses are available in perpetuity. That means forever, always. Okay? So let's go over. I'm going to do a quick recap of what I went over today. And then I will let you know what's coming tomorrow. And we can take it from there. Please do the homework. Show that you are committed to growing yourself, to your elevation, to your manifestation, to your designed life. It's not for me. This is all for you. I do this for you. Okay? Because I could just do this in my paid mentorship group. But this is free. Go with it. Okay, so today you learned that delusion is simply imagination with conviction. Okay? You learned that you are not your circumstances, but you are consciousness. You learned that imagination is the birthplace of reality. You are co-creators with God. Everything starts first in your mind and your imagination before it gets created in reality, like the chair I'm sitting on. Someone created it in their mind first, in their imagination, and then created it in reality. Okay? You learned that divine vision, it requires some uncommon sense, and that you just need to leave logic at the door. Because logic can only take you so far. The creation of extraordinary things requires extraordinary thinking, uncommon sense. You learned that every revolutionary idea began as delusion. Every revolutionary idea began as delusion. So when someone says you're being delusional, be like, hell yeah, I am. That's right, I am. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thanks for recognizing that. Every major thing in this world was someone's imagination, imaginary thought, image. And they didn't know how it was going to get done. It didn't even matter how it was going to get done. The how is never important. It's the knowing that it will get done. That's all that matters. Okay? You learned that your future exists within you. Nobody else can create it for you. Unless you relinquish your own power to someone else to run your life for you, no one else can create your future but you. And it exists within you, the way you think, the way you speak to yourself, the things that you believe in, the identity that you possess, the situations that you conjure up in your mind. Remember, we use our imagination most times for negative, all the bad things that can happen. Watch out, be careful, don't go too fast, because you can get hurt. You will lose your money, you're gonna lose your friends, you might lose your job. We use our imagination to conjure up the things that we don't want to happen. And our imagination is our gateway to our reality. And so if our imagination is our gateway to our reality, why would we create things that we don't want to happen? I want you to remember that and think about it often. You can consciously create your thoughts, consciously create your days, and then sit there and think about what it would be like in your imagination. What would it be like to have it, be it, live it, do it, go there, experience it? Okay? Your future exists within you. Your thoughts and your words create your future. They create your results. I walk around with an idea of, I am a guaranteed success. And so everything I decide to do will always manifest because I am a guaranteed success. I see it all the time. It's in my imagination. It's the identity I've adopted. I want you to adopt something that works for you. And then you also learn today that your self-concept is the architect of your dreams. So you've got your self-image, but your self-concept is now your identity. So the image is how you view yourself. The identity is how you conceptualize, how you think you are, how you think you act, how you think you speak, how you think, what you think your role is in this world. That's your self-concept, okay? Your self-concept is the architect of your outcomes. So again, if you believe, if you think that you only earn $100,000 a year, you will do everything in your power to make sure that is a reality. Your outcome will reflect that. But if you think and believe that you are made for more, then more will come. You just need to be specific on what you want the more to be, because it could be $5 and you'll get it. Okay? So I want you to now ask yourself, well, I'm going to ask you, of these things that we talked about today, what stood out to you the most? What resonated with you? I would love to know. Because there was a lot. There was a lot. If it moves you, go ahead and share in the comments. You can either do it now or you can do it on the replay, okay? By the way, if you are watching the replay, please write replay in the comments just so I know, okay? Tomorrow now, what we're going to learn, it's going to be a really, really, really good day, okay? We're going to take all of this even deeper. So day 2, we're going to talk about the mechanics of how reality rearranges itself, okay? So the mechanics of how reality actually rearranges itself. We're going to talk about how identity creates outcomes. Even more so than we talked about today. I just went over that, but we're going to really go into it, okay? We're going to talk about focused and streamlined delusion. So I don't want you to be here, there, and everywhere, all over the place. Heads up in the clouds, this is great. I want you to live there in your 4th dimension, but I want you to have focused delusion so you can create what you want 3 things at a time, okay? 3 things at a time, so you can collapse time and call it into reality faster. We're going to talk about why why unreasonable thinking is necessary. Unreasonable thinking. A lot of people don't know how to think. Bob Proctor used to say 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, and 95% of people would rather die than think. Well, for those 95% of people, actually for everybody, we're going to teach you why unreasonable thinking is necessary. You're going to learn about living from the end and the law of assumption as taught by Neville Goddard. What a brilliant man he was from Barbados. Brilliant, brilliant man. You're going to learn about embodiment. Because again, it's one thing to have this knowledge, it's another thing to live this knowledge. I want you to live it, be it, breathe it, let it become natural to you, okay? So that you can call in the things that you want to call in. This is your stepping stone to manifesting the life that you want, okay? And this is not even just manifestation tips. And then you're going to learn about becoming the version of you that your dream requires. So tonight, when you're figuring out what it is that you want, what you would love your life to look like and feel like and be like within 6 months to a year, maybe, or even 5 years down the line, whatever it is, I'm going to teach you how you're going to learn how to become the version of you that that dream requires. It's the only way you're going to get it. Old keys don't unlock new doors, right? So the old identity that you have is only going to take you so far. You're going to have to adopt a new one so that you can go to the next step, to that next level, to your dream reality, and call that reality into being, okay? And we're going to use this, how to use all of this to quantum leap not only your bank account, but your self-concept and your entire identity. So all of that tomorrow, I'm going to learn how to quantum leap, use all of that to quantum leap your bank account, your self-concept, and your entire identity. Identity shifts, identity work is big. It's big. It was one of the things, part of the delusion of me, that got me to where I am today, from $31 an hour to over $1 million in a year, from foreclosure and almost losing my home, having nowhere to go, to over $1 million in less than a year. I teach from experience. That's it. I don't teach you fluff. I don't teach you things that are unnecessary. I teach you what you need to know so that you can go ahead and start living from it. And it is my honor and it is my privilege and it is my greatest joy to be able to give this to you. Okay? So tomorrow we're going to go from understanding the concept to becoming the creator. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. How many of you are excited to learn about this? If you are unable to participate in day 2 at this time, I want you to go ahead and I will put the link in, the link for registration so that I can email you the replay. Because some people are just lazy paisies and will not go to the YouTube, but not you. But I'll put the link in the comments and you can register so it will be emailed to you. You will have access to it for all time. Okay? So with that, that was day 1 of the Delusion Method Masterclass. I will see you tomorrow for day 2. I'm excited about that. And I will tell you, day 2 is going to change everything. Absolutely everything. So it is with my appreciation, my honor, my joy, and my gratitude. Thank you for being here today. I'm Shani Leatham.